What do you get when you have a generation physically and morally lost to the law? You get their children who regain moral grounding, despite the poverty they were brought up in. But then comes their children, growing up in a time of the most prosperous, the most culturally liberated, like their grandparents. Then you skip a few, you arrive at the generation born at the start of the early 21st century, my generation. What is it with this generational pattern in the West? One generation ran the world aground, the next brought it back up, running better than ever. Then the next one overshadowed the next two, which is sort of how we got to the world we live in now. The greatest generation won the world its freedom. Their children, the baby boomers, deconstructed and introduced new movements, new radical movements in politics and technology. Some familiar faces might include Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Steve Jobs, Barack Obama, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and Charles III, amongst others. All have held significant authority at certain times in shaping the early 21st century as we see it. This is the world that people in my generation grew up only knowing. Despite growing up in a world of antisocial social media, we have in the last 5 years gravitated towards old ideas, analog technology, ancient history, and, most predominantly, religion. According to Circana Bookscan, US Bible sales have skyrocketed since 2022, up 41.6%. Religion and spirituality apps have shot up 79.5% since 2019. And if you ask me, I think this has been largely due to my generation's apprehension towards the information battle space. Comments on platforms can get angry, they can get nasty and personal. They can also be vague. People get doxxed, threatened, or actually thrown in jail.
We need to seize the phone at this current moment.
Yeah.
The phone needs to get seized from us, otherwise we will escalate this further.
But with a voluntary interview.
So have you seized anyone else? Is she the only child you're picking on?
Therefore, religion either serves to help ground or amplify our general views towards politics and mainstream media, especially Christianity, which is the most accessible, the most studied out of all world religions. And it's the religion of the North American and European founding fathers. What better religion to gravitate towards? Conspiracy theories also have a big part to play in pushing young people towards religion and religious subgroups, either out of fear, intrigue, or definitely anger. But deeper than that, I think many in this generation want to imitate their grandparents and great-grandparents of the greatest generation. Despite World War and poverty, they kept their faith with them. That has become more inspiring than the baby boom culture of world hedonism. Religious leaders in the Christian sphere have attempted over the decades to bring back young people into the world of Jesus Christ, but utterly to no avail. They didn't quite know how to communicate to generations X and Y. However, with Gen Z, many have made good use of the internet in evangelizing the youth, while millennials and Gen Z remain to be the most divided generations in modern history. At least half of them are gravitating towards faith. And who the hell knows? The next crisis will undoubtedly reshape not only my generation, but our younger counterparts. Whatever it may be, I got a hunch that the Gen Zs will be more inspired than ever to act. And as per usual, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jax Essential.